Alright guys, so here's how to do a header panel on a 93 through 96 F150 or a 90 through 97 F250 and 350. And basically you're going to want to take, there's one nut, 11 millimeter nut for the windshield wiper tank and coolant reservoir, and you'll pull that nut out and then it'll slide out of the slot right here. And then on this side there's going to be some 10 millimeter bolts and an 8 millimeter bolt. And first you're going to want to obviously get your battery out, and then you'll take out, there's going to be a bolt there, and then there, and then there's going to be two down here, and you can see where those holes are, and that needs to come out. And then next, this is the part that you might run into trouble with, and I'll show you how to cope with it. So basically on each side there's going to be an area where there's going to be nuts. Here, let me turn my light on. Right there, in there, you can see there's a nut on a stud, and sometimes those like to break off. You can see that one over there. Just to show you where they're at. So right there and right there, and then on this side it's going to be right here and right there, down there. And basically you pull those nuts out, and ideally they would come out, the nut would come out and the stud would stay in like that, but a lot of times this happens. It'll back out of the plastic. I don't know why they made it like that, but it was just a bad design. And when you're putting it back together, make sure to put anti-seize on it so that way it makes it easier to take off in the future. But when one of the things comes out on the outer sides, like the outer side of that one or the outer side of this one, you can't get it off because there's this bracket right here. So I don't know if you can see that, but there's a bracket that's attached to the stud down there because it's stuck in there. And so what you need to do is sneak an 11 millimeter wrench in here. Don't just get mad and rip it off, but you're going to sneak an 11 millimeter wrench in there, and you're going to back that off. So after I do that, I got the screw out, and then I'm going to go ahead and take the blinkers off. That one's kind of glazed. It looks like it was getting hot. But once you get those off, the sucker's ready to come out. Oh, I left my blinker in. And then it comes out. Oh, and yeah, I forgot to mention the two screws on top obviously need to come out. And then now you've got this assembly out, and this is how it comes out. There's no other way for you to get this apart. So this is how you take it out with those two bolts down there, or nuts, and then you have to fiddle with whether or not these are going to come out. Obviously you can see this is damaged, so that's really nice. But basically this headlight's junk. This headlight I got from the junkyard along with some other stuff, but today I went to LKQ for the first time instead of Pick and Pull, and I got a bunch of stuff for the front, so I'm going to show you how to put that on. So first you're going to take out the Phillips screws for the grill. Next step is to go ahead and take out, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these. Sorry, I forget sometimes. But you can see these things crack and break, especially when you hit deer or something, which I think this truck has had that happen because this is a 5.8 belt diagram and a 5.8 fan and radiator. So, but anyway, this is all broken and stuff, and it was smashed in, so you can see the bumper gap. I put this is a new one of these, and you can see the bumper gap. You can't see the gap, and I'll hold it in the same angle and then go over here. The bumper was flush with this before, so when I changed that, now I need to realign my bumper because these brackets are bendable, so you can kind of adjust it a little bit. And I honestly don't like that about this truck, but it is what it is. But now I'm going to take those 10 bolts out, and then it'll be ready to come out. Alright, so after those bolts were removed, the header panel comes off, and now I've got the header panel back on. I reinstalled those bolts. You're going to want to get these ones almost down, but not all the way, and then you're going to go ahead and tighten these where they are. If you want to, you can push on it a little bit to kind of get this gap here a little bit cleaner for air restriction. That's what I did here. And then you're going to tighten these, and then I ended up loosening these two again and then redoing it now that that one was lined up properly, but you can really do it any way you want and it'll be fine. But that's just the way I did it. And then I went ahead and reinstalled this, and now it's time to go ahead and decide which parts I'm going to use for the lights and then reinstall them after pulling the wires back through here. And next I went ahead and plugged everything in and then got the nuts put back on with some anti-seize, and now it's starting to take its shape again and it's looking really nice. Alright, and once you install the line and the plug and nut back on the windshield wiper slash coolant reservoir tank, then you're going to come over here and then install the 2 bolts and try to get this as level as possible. My bracket here, somebody moved it when they did the body lift, so it's got a gap right here compared to over there. But it's no big deal. I just kind of got it as level as I could because that thing is adjustable. Pretty much everything on these trucks is adjustable. And now the battery is sitting pretty level compared to where it was when I put it on there last time. And now you can see just how freaking good looking this is. Ignore the grill and the gap there. That's because when somebody hit whatever they hit, it got kind of out of shape, but I can get a new one and that'll solve that. But you can see how nice these lights look and stuff. And this was all cracked. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, this was all cracked and the lights were just not in the best shape. You can see that, how they're like really yellow compared to these. So now it's looking pretty good. Kind of somewhat new again. And yeah, so now I'm going to get onto the AC.